Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of A Story with Gorte. Now, today we will be reading Chapter 3 of The Scarlet Rose. Now, before we get into it, I just want to say, one, you see that I'm in a different setup. Behind me, you see all the Pokemon and the stuffed animals and all that stuff. I'm not in my normal reading chair. I kind of like this background better. But we'll see. Because I'm actually using my actual computer than my laptop. So yeah, that is one thing I wanted to mention. As for Chapter 3, we are going to recap Chapter 2. Chapter 2, Misty, Meldorin, and Lazarus went to the ruins that her mother told her to investigate. They didn't find anything until Lazarus opened up this secret passage, and they went into the catacombs where they found some kind of holy orb. Then, as Misty and Meldorin were searching around, Lazarus was drawn to the orb, and then he was able to activate it with his holy powers. Holy explosion pretty much happened in the room, and he said that this angel named Lexion needed help. So they're like, okay, Misty decides that they should go back to Pandemonium, and they do. They get something to eat, then they go and go rest in the inn, but Misty couldn't sleep, so she goes outside. She's walking around and she finds a little area where she can hear the ocean and look over the ocean. And some man comes to her and says, "Hey, how are you?" Blah blah blah. They start talking, and Misty finds out that this man, his name is Meldrin. No, his name is Marvin, and he is like a researcher. He's a traveler. And Misty asks him about, have you ever heard of like the Scarlet Rose? And he's like, don't think I have. So Misty, sees herself away. She says, it's getting late. I'm going to bed. And as she turns to see if Marvin is still there, she sees a piece of paper fall down. And when she grabs it, the title of the piece of paper reads The Scarlet Rose. So she takes it back and goes to bed. So Chapter 3. Okay. Misty woke the next morning and washed up. She glanced at the paper she received last night. The title of it read The Scarlet Rose, and beneath it gave an explanation. An organization founded by the strongest women of the world. They created a coven to protect the world from any danger and darkness. They have faced many foes and brought a new age to women heroes. The Scarlet Rose still operates in the shadows. It is said that the members of the Scarlet Rose have been disappearing in recent years, and one of the leaders have gone rogue. If the rogue leader resurfaces, danger will follow. Misty rubbed her eyes. This doesn't make any sense. But does that mean the rose I received is from this organization? Misty studied the strange design at the bottom right of the paper. It was a circle with letters around it. MVRVU. Misty scratched her chin. What could those mean? She stuffed the letter in her pocket and headed outside. She saw Meldrin and Lazarus waiting for her. Let's visit the tavern for breakfast, Misty suggested. Breakfast sounds delicious, Lazarus replied, having a grin on his face. They went to the tavern where most people were in the morning for breakfast. The tables were packed with people. Misty, over here, a familiar voice shouted at them. From across the room she saw the same man from last night, Marvin. They walked to him and sat down at the table. Marvin, you're still in the city? He nodded. I am. He glanced at Meldrin and Lazarus. Hi there. I'm Marvin. These are my friends, Meldrin and his younger brother Lazarus. Meldrin nodded. Hi, pleasure to meet you. The food arrived. A giant slab of scrambled eggs filled half the plate with shredded potato hash, and 3 strips of bacon and sausage links. Lazarus' eyes widened as the food filled his nose. and not his mouth. He took a bite, chomping down on the eggs. His eyes rolled in the back of his head. "These are delicious," he said, scarfing down more. The rest ate in silence. Misty tasted everything on her plate. The bacon, crisped to perfection, the potatoes exploding with salt and pepper, the sausage having a sweet maple flavor to it, and the creamy, delicious eggs. She went to grab more until she realized she finished her plate. Misty glanced at the others and saw their plates were empty as well. "So, where are you three heading today?" "We are heading to Grimdall to deliver some potions," Misty answered. Marvin smiled. "Sounds like a fun time." He slammed down gold coins. "You three enjoy your travels." "Wait, do you want money for breakfast?" Misty asked. He shook his head. "No, not at all. You all enjoy yourselves." He left the tavern. Misty ran after him. "Wait, Marvin!" she shouted. He turned to face her. "Yeah?" "I know you left me that page yesterday. Do you know anything else about the Scarlet Rose?" He stared into her icy blue eyes. "I'm sure all things will be revealed to you shortly." He pulled her in close. "I am not your enemy. I'm here to help." He patted her shoulder and walked off. Meldrin and Lazarus walked out of the tavern, catching up to Misty. "Hey, everything okay?" She nodded. "Yeah," her voice trailing off. "Then let's go." They mounted on the wagon and headed off. The journey was quiet as they rode down the dirt path. Misty's thoughts raced in her mind. She didn't know which one to examine first. Something was going on, but she didn't know what. The Scarlet Rose, the rose she received, is connected. Why here, though? What part did she have in any of this? She closed her eyes and enjoyed the silence. Meldrin pulled on the reins. "What's wrong, Meldrin?" "Misty, there's someone in the road." Misty peered to see a body lying on the road, and two off in the grass. Misty jumped off the wagon and dashed to the person. It was a woman, an elf, with pale white skin. She had long, wavy lavender hair with a silver streak that reached down to a brown pouch. The elf bled from somewhere as a small pool of blood collected underneath her. Misty glanced at the bodies in the grass and saw they were green-skinned orcs. "Hey, are you okay? Can you move?" Misty asked. My shoulder hurts." Misty removed the coat made of wolf fur and saw a wound the size of a sword piercing through skin. It bled profusely. Misty grabbed a cloth from her belt and wiped the blood. From the other side, she grabbed a healing potion, popped out the cork. "Here, drink this." Misty held the vial to the elf's mouth. She watched as the liquid drained. She stopped, leaving the syrup inside. "This may sting a little." She poured the syrup on the wound. The elf jerked a little, but calmed immediately. Meldrin walked next to Misty. "What happened to you?" he asked. "I was heading to town when 2 orcs ambushed me. I killed them both, but not before they struck my shoulder with their sword," the elf spoke. Misty looked at Meldrin. "Help me bring her to the wagon. We need to get her to a healer quickly." "But didn't you use healer with your potion?" Meldrin said. "Yes, but she still needs to see a healer. Her wound is severe, and she has been bleeding." Meldrin lifted her to the wagon. Misty hopped back into the wagon as well, and Meldrin on the horse. He glanced at her. "Thank you, the both of you, for your help. I do appreciate it." Misty smiled. "You're welcome." He nodded. They rode down the path until they saw the walls of Grimdall. And that is the end of Chapter 3. Chapter 3 was very, very small. I would probably say like a page and a half, maybe 2. But it was very, very short. But I will say Chapter 4 is going to be it's pretty long. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to upload Chapter 3 today, obviously. And then I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to record Chapter 4 either tomorrow or Friday and upload that. Because, like I said, it was literally only like 2 pages. It was shorter than Chapter 2. So, but Chapter 4 is pretty long. so it's probably going to take me a few takes to actually get through it, but we should be good. But yeah, that is chapter 3. So now we know they're finally on their way to Grimdall, and Grimdall is the one that needed the potions. So we will find out what's going to be happening with them very shortly. And as always, make sure you I want to hear your guys' predictions about what's going to happen in Grimdall now. They're heading that way. They are already they're already by the wall, so once chapter 4 starts, they're going to be in Grimdall. What do you think is going to happen in there? Any opinions? Anyone want to guess what's going to happen? And what are your thoughts of the story? I've been receiving a lot of great feedback about this. I know my reading's horrendous. I stop, I pause, I hesitate. But I'm actually really enjoying this. So I hope you all are well. You all are as well. And I'm excited to continue. I have everything up to chapter 9, chapter 8. Sorry, edited and ready to read. So that's what 5 more chapters. So if I get caught up in everything and I start recording 2 chapters in 1 week, that would be exciting. Maybe do a Monday and Friday thing, but we'll see. But yes, please let me know what you all think or what's going to happen. I appreciate all of you being here. It means so much to me. Thank you all for stopping by and tuning in. I really appreciate that. Remember to like and subscribe, and if you have any friends that you think might be interested in this, or cooking or games, let them know. Because I know I haven't really been posting a lot, at least for the month of January. I do plan to be posting a lot more next month in February, so I'm actually going to start recording some videos now. That way I can be prepared for February when they come. Or when it comes, and that's really it. Again, thank you all for stopping by. It really means a lot to me, and like I said, I'm getting a lot of great feedback on this, so thank you all who has been tuning in, who has been listening to me read. I really appreciate it. Remember to be the best you can be, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye!